We're at 2:30 right now, and we've had donuts for breakfast, and they've had Chick-fil-A for lunch. And the text was, while mom's away, we party. Good morning, afternoon. What day is it? What time of day is it?
Oh my gosh, welcome to We'll Sleep When We're Dead. Guys, we don't know what we're doing.
We don't know what we're doing. We have one tiny little mic that you're going to have to deal with us just passing back and forth because this is what it is. We are sitting directly next to each other in a hotel bed right now because I only booked us one king bed, which is Sam's literal worst nightmare is having to sleep in one king bed with me. And here we are, but reporting live and together from New York City.
Live from New York City. What do you have to say? Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I'm so not used to being next to you. And I'm looking at my computer, but I'm looking at you. And we're only doing this awkwardness because the last time we recorded next to each other, the socials, like it was so hard. Like if this was just a podcast without visuals, we would literally not be doing any of this.
We could just choose to go dark. That would be crazy. We can't do that because we're still committed to the socials, even though we hate them.
Yeah.
There's almost nothing we hate more. But guys, we are here together celebrating a whole year of working our little patooties off on this podcast. And yet again, thank you. If you're still listening, half of you have said, we love these episodes where you guys just chat. The other half that haven't told us that, we just assume hate it.
So we don't know what you like. Tell us what you like. But yeah, find yourself a friend that will start a podcast with you and then also be willing, because this is all Lucy, to be like, we need to celebrate our 1 year. I don't know if I would have thought of this. You were the one that were like, we're due for a girls trip. Because when did you remind everybody the last time you went? Not a girls trip with me, but a girls trip.
I don't know that I want to admit this broadly. The last time I did a girls trip was also with Sam, was also to New York, and was 1 month pre the world shutting down for COVID. It was like Sam was so good about you gotta leave the baby. Like you gotta go. Henry was about 6 months old. I was absolutely freaked out. I was done nursing at that point. So it was like, there's nothing holding me back. I literally just can go. And we came to New York. We did almost the exact same things that we've done now. Ate, worked out, walked 1,000,000,001 steps. But that was the last time, because talk about mom guilt. I travel enough for work that I don't, and then if we do take a trip, it's going to be a couples trip. I just don't prioritize girls trips. And here we are. And they're so fun for anyone that's wondering. They're so fun.
So it's funny because this mom friend that I have here just came back from like a month long in Europe. And she was talking to me. I haven't seen her in a while. And she goes, we should just like use up my credits at this like hotel pool. And she was like referencing with the kids. And I was like, no, we should leave the kids at home and go by ourselves. And she literally was like, that's why you're my friend, because you remind me to not do things with your children.
Well, and just for context, because we did record last week, Sam and I go, 52 weeks seeing each other, talking to each other, doing this podcast all the time, but actually seeing each other in person is very, very rare. But Sam did her annual Indiana trip last week with the kids, and I took time off. We had mostly a blast with our kids and our families, and we did some podcast recording and whatnot, but there's just nothing like being truly no kids, because we had to break up a lot of girl fights last weekend.
Well, you had, I think we didn't have to break it up. I think Lucy for this first time had to process what it was like to have multiple girls in the household, because Pipe, like people tell me that Finley is their spirit animal. Piper is my spirit animal. Like that girl, she is the most confident. She is like the classic one that's going to be like thriving as an adult. But she just can't figure it out when my girls don't want to do what she wants to do. But then also, I want to give a sleepaway camp update. The dynamic was off because Isla was gone. And so Isla and Henry normally are like BFFs. But this time, my two girls were kind of like, wait, Henry is available. Like, I want to play with Henry. And Piper would kind of tell my girls what to do. And they're like, wait, we're used to our older sister telling us what to do. And she's gone and we don't want to listen to you. And she just like couldn't figure it out. So you were always like, oh no, they're fighting. And I was like, this is literally what it sounds like for 3 girls in a house nonstop. But it was a blast. I think it was a blast.
I mean, we had such a blast, but it was a very truly like I've never missed Isla more than those few days because it also made me recognize, despite Henry being a firstborn, and Sam and I have talked about this before. We actually talk about it in an episode coming up that with 2 amazing women, how like Sam and I are actually like more structured, like firstborn girls.
We did eldest daughter.
Woo, we just did have a 1 p.m. glass of champagne. So
that was not the champagne. That was my R speech impediment. I can eldest daughter. Daughter should be for our speech impediment. That's a hard word. We give eldest daughter energy.
We do. We do. And I would say similarly, little Pipey also gives eldest daughter energy. Like she's here to tell you what we're doing. She's here to give a plan. And God bless him, Henry really follows along with that. I mean, he is built to have this younger sister who's just telling him what to do. He like really, I was reflecting back on when she watching all of this last weekend, just realizing like she is who she is. Like I say that a lot, but like she is who she is and she's been like this since she was born. I mean, she's literally been like this since she was born. And when she was little, she would get herself so worked up. And we're talking like 6 months to a year and a half. She would cry and cry and then she would just throw up because like that was like the ultimate manifestation of her being frustrated. And Henry would be like, Piper, just stop crying or you're going to throw up. And he's still like that. You know, if she's bossing him around and he's like, I'll do whatever you're going to say.
And my 2 little girls are like, no, I don't want to do that. And she just cannot figure that one out. So anyway, it was an absolute blast, but there's nothing like a kid free.
There's nothing like a kid free, but we were giggling today because we were out on a walk and both of us, the husbands are faring very well. We are so grateful that we're out here having this time together. And at the same time, Sam's giving perspective on where the goggles are. And I'm texting about what do you get a 5-year-old girl for a birthday present? Where might we go acquire such a present for an afternoon? So there's just the momming like doesn't stop is like that's my takeaway always as a working mom. However, I feel like even in this situation where it's the weekend, dads are doing a great job. There's still just something about mom that you really can't replace.
Yeah. And also I'm such a proponent. If I have like one thing I stand for, it's moms getting a break. You know, like I think everyone deserves multiple weekends away from their kids. I remember posting this a long time ago on our social about I had just run a race and I wanted to be like Instagram burst reality. Like I just ran this race. I'm so proud of myself. But like what it took me, I think that day Kyle was gone. I had to have a babysitter early that morning just to get over here. And like it was received really well. And I also want to be like very open about this weekend. Lucy and I booked this trip. Maybe I failed in communicating, but Kyle, my girls are not in camp. This is a Friday through a Sunday. Kyle's work is just not a job that he can kind of just like not work for a Friday. So I had to we've booked this like months ago. I had to pay for morning camp from 9 to 12. Then I had to book a babysitter 12 to 4. Then he surprised me that he's going to India tomorrow for work, aka today. Sorry, not tomorrow. So then I had to ask our old au pair, can you please come spend the night with my children? So like, yes, it's like, I don't know. I just don't want everybody to be like, oh my gosh, it's so easy. It's easy for me to leave my children in terms of mom guilt, but like I could have easily texted you, Luz, and been like, childcare is not happening. We can't make this work. And instead I'm literally paying basically somebody watch my kids 20 of the 48 hours. But it's so worth it. In my opinion, like I think some people would be like, it's not worth it. But for me, it is so worth because we communicate nonstop. But like something that maybe people don't know about us is like texting Lucy is kind of like texting my husband because she works all day, believe it or not. So like we actually don't ever really start and end a conversation.
It's pretty fluid.
It's very like she'll call me post drop off before she has to go start her work day at like 8:50 to 9. And we'll be deep in conversation. She's like, I gotta go. I'm like, okay. And then I don't really like know when I'm going to talk to you next. And so most of our conversations are like very fluid where this is. And then with the kids, like this is actually the first time in a long time that you and I have like fully had a full conversation start to finish.
And no one's been cut off more frequently than Sam, because like when it's true. And I never feel bad about it because you're so gracious about it. But I'll be like driving to Chicago and then I'm like pulling into the parking garage. See you later. Like I'll have to talk to you in about 4 days.
Yeah. So there's been like so much girl time, but there's been so much podcast planning time. So anyway, all of that to say, it might look easy that we're like sitting in this hotel room, but like for what both of us had to do to get here, I just always want to be like, do it. Even like I have this other friend that I text before every vacation. And I'm like, I'm at that point where I'm like, is it going to be worth it? It feels like too much work. And then it's always that good reminder of that accountability friend to be like, no, it is worth it. And then 2 days into vacation, I'm like, it's worth it. But there's always that point where you're like, is it really worth it for me to do all of this just to have a mom's weekend? And 100% it's worth it.
Well, we're both going to be recovering for days from this one. Yesterday, we walked 10 miles.
Like 25,000 steps.
And then this morning, we were like, we must run around Central Park. And I actually think it was one of the more fun things that we've done in a while, even though it was awful at the same time. We love duality. It's fun and awful at the same time. Guys, we saw a show last night, The Lost Boys. Has anyone seen it? Does anyone know anything about it? Because I will say, Sam and I were probably the only people in the theater that knew. No, we knew not one thing. People were screaming and like out of their minds from the minute the first note started. And Sam and I were like, we have no idea. It was literally incredible. It was incredible. And it was like a good reminder for me that I used to be a real musical theater girly. And I really just like, I came out of it not missing being on the stage, but missing being like interested in musical theater.
Well, there were moments when I would look over at you and I'm like, I know that woman is a good singer, but the level of appreciation that you have is, I could see it in your face being like, oh my God, I can't believe she hit that note. Where I'm like, yes, it sounded good, but like you have such a high appreciation of like, how did they just do that? And that was that. It was, I mean, I've told you, I've wanted to do one show a quarter and I haven't, but like you come here and you're like, oh yeah, this is the best of the best. So anyway, Broadway show, incredible.
Well, let us not forget that at one point, had I not done that career test, there was a point in time where I was like, I might just like go try to make it on Broadway. But that career test man was like, you want to be successful and that's important to you. And you're going to have to like wait tables every single day for 10 years in order to make ends meet. And I didn't want to do that. And now I'm like grateful to just go watch people that are just out there living their passions and doing their thing.
And I'm over here, like I live here. I texted Kyle, like, I can't believe I live here, but I don't do that very often. I need to just like come over here. I know I live in New York City, but I tell you, even here, like in Manhattan, I still walk around like, how do people live here? This is like Brooklyn is so different than Manhattan. Brooklyn feels like the suburbs when I'm in Manhattan. I'm like, how are people doing that?
And almost nothing feels like the suburbs of where I live. I have just
the things that she'll point out on like subway rides or walking, it's a treat for me because I feel like I get to see it in like a newbie's eyes where I just am like, yeah, like this woman's outfit today. You just look over at me and you were like, that almost made the suitcase today, but I decided against it. And it was a treat. The outfit was a treat. And I'm like, that's just every day.
I can't. I mean, there is like, my takeaway is there is a degree of sameness in the suburbs that you like fall into and you like don't realize until you really put yourself in a different environment. And you're like, wow, people are just out here doing their thing.
Yeah.
Doing their thing. So we're celebrating a year, which is incredible and so fun. And we're reinvigorated every time. I mean, you're not stopping us. And we've said that before. But we've just had so many good chats about what we want to do, who we want to have on. And we had, with the caveat that we were doing a lot of planning yesterday. This has been a straight up like business trip.
I've never been on a business trip.
Sam's never been on a business trip. And this has been exciting to show her. We had a working lunch yesterday. It's been a whole thing. But And we're planned through the end of the year, which is amazing. But we have a lot of like buckets of people that we're super, super excited to chat with. And we have some really amazing ones coming. But I'm going to just name off a few. I'm going to name off a few types of people that we want on because I do feel like this community.
I thought you were spoiling who was coming.
Absolutely not spoiling who's coming on. You would have to cut this because I would not allow. We have so many.
Well, I let you take over, but I was about to take over for you. And
no,
you're not sharing.
We're not going to spoil. We're not going to spoil because there's a few just like jaw droppers, which we're super pumped about. So here are some types of people that we'd love to have on. And I feel like it's important to say it because
people show up.
And your networks are incredible.
Yeah.
So first is a dermatologist because we're just not all of us, we just know from the stats, there's a lot of millennial moms and we can't help that because that's who we are.
Yeah, this angle's not doing it.
Well, it's not, neither is this beige color behind us. There's a lot happening that we're not thrilled with. But anyways, all to say, dermatologists, we all love looking at those Instagrams of how I'm 40 and I'm aging backwards. Would love to know a dermatologist recommendation. So we got dermatologists on the list. We still want a nutritionist or a registered dietitian. And I think so much of this is because Sam and I've said it multiple times on this trip. We don't want to think about feeding our kids. It's awful. It's stressful. It's important to us and it's awful. And so just like easy tricks or easy meals or easy products.
Can we like do a quick aside right there? I'm ready. I got a picture from Isla at Sleepaway camp today and you saw it. And what was in her hand? Dippin' Dot, Haribo's, gummy bears, and there was one more sugar. Oh, and a Fanta. I've never seen this girl. Like, and clearly it was because all of her friends are getting it, but also like this sweet little girl is given like, I think $10 or $15 on these day trips. And she is just like, wait, I can have anything I want. Like, I love that she was able to do that. But at the same time, I'm like, we've tried so hard. And those are the things that it just makes me think like, I know it's important, but my sugar loving middle child would have grabbed the same things. And Isla doesn't even like sugar. Like, I just feel like there's so many questions about feeding our kids because I can't stand it, but I know it's important. But then I do everything for this. And Isla's not even my sweet tooth girl. My middle one is. And the fact that that's what she's choosing, like, it's just confusing to me.
While Isla's having all this sugar, I've already gotten a text from my husband with a picture. We're at 2:30 right now. And we've had donuts for breakfast and they've had Chick-fil-A for lunch. And the text was, while mom's away, we party. While mom's away, we party. And you know what? That's great. And they had already said they were going to have a Shake Shack movie night tonight at party. And Henry, sweet Henry, he goes, Mom, I'm going to save you some. I'm like, bud, I don't want you to save me cold Shake Shack. That sounds awful. So if you are an RD or a nutritionist, just email us, wswd.podcast@gmail.com. We'd love to have you on. Pediatrician. We really want to talk about Tylenol and colds and fevers. And what else do you want to talk to them about? Growth charts.
Wow. I don't even know actually. A pediatrician just for like general, but I don't have a lot on a pediatrician because no one's surprised. I keep getting emails that I've missed a few of my kids' yearly check-ins. So
no, you have not.
Yeah.
There's almost nothing more stressful to me than that. I
got a call the other day and they're like, hey, Isla's like a year overdue. You never went to her 7 year. I was like, we'll just do it at the 8th year.
You're absolutely kidding me.
No, she's fine.
No. Okay. And then in typical fashion, I was 3 weeks late. I couldn't get them in right at their birthdays. And we were 3 weeks past their birthdays. And I was like, this is it. I'm going to be kicked out of the pediatrician's office or they're not going to be able to be in school. Like, I don't know.
Not like a thing.
Not like a thing for you, but still, my gosh, I'm going to be following up with you around Isla's birthday to make sure she's in. Do you have it scheduled?
No.
You're not going to be able to get in. She's going to be 10 before she gets to your next well visit.
She's fine. I don't understand the point. You go and they're like, let's measure her. Do you have any problems? No, she's good. Like
the measurement is my favorite part. Every single year I wait with bated breath to see, did they grow? Fun fact, at their well visits, this was a couple weeks ago now, the doctor said, I'd love to see them grow 2 to 3 inches a year at this point in time. Do you know if Isla's grown 2 to 3 inches a year? No, we don't know. But I'm curious. I want to see where she is.
Am I gonna get a lot of hate for that one?
I can't wait to see because this one is stressful. Okay, moving on. Plastic surgeon. No, we don't care about the pediatrician. So if you are one and you're listening, we apparently don't care. I care deeply. Sam wants to know about the mommy makeovers, tummy tucks.
I think there's like a lot of this mom. I don't know. There's just like a lot of energy out there right now of like, do whatever you want, even though there's not. Like, I don't know. I think I don't think people are being honest enough, but I think people are doing more mommy makeovers than probably in the past. And I think it would be really interesting to talk to somebody about it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But I just think it'd be interesting.
Yeah, I would love to know like the rise in popularity of it, but then mainly the risks. That's what I want to know.
I didn't think there was more to learn about Lucy. The amount of comments of it's just a walking risk factor. Just
constant analysis.
Yeah. Like I would make a comment about something and she make a comment back and I was like, literally, I've never thought about that in my entire life. And the thing that she said is like the most horrific risk, like the most horrific thing that could have happened that probably has a 0.01% chance, but that is what came to her brain. And we were at a restaurant and that was her thought. And I was like, we can't
even share it out loud.
You can't. And I just was like, that fact that just came through your brain is an unbelievable thought.
But the fact that I'm able to share that, being very honest with you, I can't share those things with the average, ordinary person. They can't know.
Kevin.
Yep.
Kevin and I. Anyway, so are those
are it. Yeah. But if you guys, like, if there's a great person, we are at the ready. Yeah. We're at the ready. Okay. We're going to end this nonsense with a fun segment that we may or may not continue called Rate My Week. I felt like there needed to be a drum roll. Can you like insert a drum roll in editing or something?
For sure. Like the last time when we did a year and I was like, wow.
Okay. We got to wrap this up because we've got to go stand in line for an hour to try to get into a restaurant for dinner at 5:00. Just kidding, but only maybe. We're just idiots living our best lives. Okay. Rate My Week. Okay, these are going to be, because we've never done this, I'm going to say scale of 1 to 5, or do you want to do 1 to 10?
I was thinking we were just going to say words about it. Give me a scale. Okay, that'll shut me up.
Let's do 1 to, you can provide a reasoning. Okay. Okay. All right. Rate My Week, scale of 1 to 10, mom guilt. Go.
0.
Like no, there's no explanation.
Yeah. I have no mom guilt. Rarely ever.
I'm actually proud of myself. I'm on this trip and I'm only at like a 5.
Out of 5?
Well, I was doing out of 10. Oh. So 50% feels pretty good.
Okay. Can I just talk really quickly about the Sleepaway Camp update? I am having so many emotions about Sleepaway Camp.
And if you don't know, for people this is your first episode and you've already decided to leave, but if you're still with us, Sam's oldest is at Sleepaway Camp for 3 weeks. That's the
first time ever.
First time ever.
It was not a culture thing for us growing up. Thank you for being a part of the journey. If you follow us on socials, thank you, because I'm constantly posting there about it. But we had we get one FaceTime every Sunday, and we had our first FaceTime, and I've gotten barely any updates from her. Pictures, probably like 3 to 5 a night, but like she's not writing me back. So every kid is allowed to email their parents back. I've written her 4 times. She's written me 0. Other friends have texted me their kids are writing them every single time. My child has written me 0. And to know Isla is to know that she's very independent. She's born this way, but she is the most particular person. She is my husband. She's so hard to please. Like everything is very hard to please. I didn't know what I was supposed to get. This FaceTime, I was gearing up to prepare. Like, it's okay, sweetie. It's going to be good. We're going to get like whatever. This girl got on and was like, hi, mom. And was a 10-minute stream of consciousness. I love camp. I did this. I did this. Like, and then she just was like, okay, well, I guess our time is up. And just like hung up on me. And I sobbed for 20 minutes, like notebook style sobbed, because I can't explain this. And I'll bring it back to mom guilt. I can't explain that it's not sadness, but it's like we each know our individual kids' needs and desires, and hers is to please. Mm-hmm. And I was so worried that she had such high expectations of what Sleepaway Camp would be, and she would go there and it would not be that way. And the fact that she is so happy, like she's my kid who I always would talk to teachers like, is she happy? Is she making friends? Like, I know she's smart, but is she happy? And I feel like there's so much mom guilt out there about maybe like very pro sleepaway camp, but there's a lot of sleepaway camp people. They're like, oh, how could you be away from your kids for so? And this has been such a level of freedom for me to be like, I don't know if sleepaway camp is for every kid of mine, but I even texted you a picture, and Lucy literally was like, I've never seen that smile. And I joked, maybe she's a boarding camp kid. Like, more, maybe she's supposed to be at boarding school. Like,
I've seen a lot of pictures of Isla in the last almost 8 years.
And this,
it was like, if there was a way to capture pure joy, that is what this picture looked like. It was a smile that was like, she's never had more fun in her entire life.
And it was in her little horseback riding, because that's all. So anyway, the mom guilt piece of that is like, I think there's maybe like mom guilt, like, should I send my kid? And I don't think it's for everybody, but this was almost reverse mom guilt of true, like, I think I did something right. Like, I think she wanted to go to sleepaway camp. She asked to go to sleepaway camp. I did it. And she's so happy that, like, I still am sad every day. Like, the other day I walked out of her room and was like, she's still gone, Kyle. Like, just like, I don't know what to do with myself. But anyway, it was just like a reverse guilt of like, no, there should be no guilt about this. Like, she's not, like, again, screw those 18 summer quotes. Like, she is living her best life for 3 weeks. And that's amazing to me. So anyway, that's also why I'm at a 0, because I'm so happy for her happiness.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Sleep.
Do we even talk about, I don't, sleeping with Lucy, guys. So are we going to talk about our week sleep or our night sleep?
Just do last night because it's the only thing that's relevant at this point.
So my genius idea today was to have some sort of app where we could maybe just watch Lucy sleep, because I think we've talked about it a while on here, but I don't think people quite understand. She goes from, I'm going to fall asleep next to you, Sam, in 4 seconds last night at 10:15, because we're that fun, to dead asleep. And within 4 minutes, she's up like at 6 a.m. Like, I forgot to close the blinds. And then she's back down. And then she said she went to the bathroom twice. Her phone was unplugged in the middle of the night. She talked to me about blueberries in the middle of the night. Like, and it doesn't bother me because I don't get upset about not getting sleep. But like,
I got up to get the sleep machine out at one point.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
like,
that was a totally different time.
After about 20 minutes after the blinds had to go back down better, she was like, can I put on a loud sleep machine? And then I think you looked at me one time and you're like, you're just laying there. I'm like, yep, that's like what one does when they're trying to go to sleep. And then you were like, I couldn't find the bathroom one time.
I could not. It was the second time too. So I'd already been in there once in the night, but then I just like could not find the toilet. But the best thing that Sam said was that she tried to lay as still as possible because she was so scared that if she didn't, then I would be nervous that she was awake.
And then you would be talking to me. Yeah. It's so last night though. And then this stinking hotel door, take Lucy aside. That was like 7 things that Lucy did. This door next to us is going in it, like slamming shut. And Lucy heard it and all of that. She still heard it. So we were talking about this morning. What, at 10 a.m. we saw this beautiful bride.
Beautiful. Literally the most beautiful bride.
And we were like, that's why these people were in and out. So anyway, last night
they were getting ready for their wedding at 4 a.m.
Last night I'm going to give it like a 2 out of 10. But what I was trying to explain to you about it is like, the thing about my sleep is if Lucy wakes me up 15 times, I'm not grumpy the next day. Like, I'm just like, oh, I had a bad night, moving on. But like other people might have a hard time with that. I'm just like, oh, I woke up 15 times. That's not a big deal. My week sleep, probably like a 5 out of 10. When is it ever like that great, right? What about you?
And last night for me was like a solid 6. So 6 to 7 even. I woke up rested despite being up 3,500 times. Okay, marriage. I'm going to give marriage this week a 9. I'm going to give it a 9. And here's why. Because we had one of those, we haven't had one of these in a while, where we both had collectively terrible, awful, no good, bad days. I'm pretty sure that's a book or something.
Yeah. Work-wise, like you individually, not related. Right?
Just like we each had a bad day. It wasn't just work. It was, Piper being home sick on the second day of school. And what were all the other things? Just like, there were just so many things that went wrong on so many different levels. And instead of us griping at each other, we like really came together to be like, you know what? This was collectively an awful day. And we're going to commiserate with each other, encourage each other, and remind ourselves that tomorrow is going to be a better day. And I don't think we always do a good job of that. I think it can be really easy, especially in marriage, when you're really close to someone to just be like, I'm going to take this out on you. You're going to feel the brunt of it. And hopefully tomorrow's a better day. But we just really came together on it. And I hope we can continue to do that again and again because it was much better. Not a 9.
No, I'm going to give it like a 2 or a 3. Yeah. Communicating with a husband who travels 80%. I don't know if I really talk about how much he travels. I think I just say like Kyle travels a lot. But let me just like paint a picture if people don't realize it. We were in Indiana on Monday. I posted about my lovely travel experience with the kids because I was by myself because we both landed in Indiana, or we drove to Indianapolis airport, but I flew home and Kyle flew to Chicago for work. Kyle then flew back on late Wednesday night, didn't get home after bedtime. And then now it's Saturday and he's now flying to India. Kyle will then be in India until the next week. So like that might sound like a lot, but that is just our normal. Like our normal is Kyle's probably home 2 to 3 days a week. So then you throw in some like communication errors and the husband's never home. It's just weeks can be really hard. And yeah, it's a lot. I think when I said this all the time, when your kids are thriving and healthy and doing great, man, oh man, is parenting hard. And I say it about marriage. When things are great, I still
Parenting
think
hard or parenting easy when they're thriving and doing great?
sorry, I think parenting is still hard. Like even when things are great, it's still like sometimes hard to be a mom, right?
Yeah.
Like it's exhausting. Or like even like I think sometimes even when my kids are healthy and a good day, like I'm still tired or I'm overwhelmed by the mental load of getting the lunches ready. Like rarely is it just like stream. I don't know. I think it's just a lot. Maybe a lot is a better word. Not hard, but just like
great.
Like yeah. So when the reason why I say that is because when people are going through really hard things and I'm just like, gosh, parenting on a good day is still hard. I can't imagine doing what you're doing. Like it's hard. Like it's exhausting and it's tiring. It's not hard is not bad on those days. I'm just saying it's still really exhausting. And I think that about marriage. Like even when things are great, sometimes you're just like, wow, this is a lot. So yeah, love them. I'm gonna give it a 2.
All right. Last one, self-care. I'm giving self-care a 10 this week because we're on this trip. We've really done a good job of doing all the things that we just went to a museum, guys. We like popped in the MoMA.
Yeah.
We got a glass of champagne at lunch. We went on a run. We went to see a show. Self-care has been about the highest it's been for me in ages.
Yeah, but yes, I would say my need for self-care though is like really low.
Yeah.
Like on a day to day. Like I'm like, I would give self-care higher than maybe most people if I just was like able to work out that day. Like I think some people's self-care spectrum, like they need a lot more. That's just like not a category. I agree with you. To me, this is like 12 out of 10 in the sense of like, don't do this much for me. But just in general, my self-care is like, yeah, if I just like get a workout that day or like even on my non-workout days, if I just get to have like a really good conversation with a mom friend, like where I think that most people or everybody's self-care dial is different, if that makes sense. But that's just
and that I think that perfectly correlates with what we said to our guests a couple weeks ago when we were like, when we ask people what their self-care is, every single person says something totally different, which I just think is amazing. So I love that.
That's just like not a cup that needs to be like very, it's just like very minimal to make my cup feel very full.
I love that. Well, our cups are very full. And with that, I love to land the plane. We're landing it. Thank you guys. We're going to drop our tiny mic and we're going to go head out for dinner. Thanks for staying with us and thanks for being here. Bye.
Bye.